Something has been bothering me ever since I recently finished Death Note, and that is simply I actually don't know what Nier did. Um, I just feel like Nier, compared to everyone else, didn't really accomplish much in terms of providing some sort of substance to either the story or the case itself in the anime. I don't know what happened in the manga, but besides Mikami, like I know he figured out that Mikami was the second Kira, but in my opinion, that was kind of bull crap. How he figured out who Mikami was, like in the anime, he just I don't know. They just had this weird like wind thing happened, and then he just all of a sudden found out that Mikami was the second Kira. And yeah, I know that like detectives do have those cases where they try to where they do have like, oh, I know who this is, or like they do have like a feeling like heck, L did that all the time. But with L, at least you could understand the reasoning as to why he came up with that conclusion, like why he had that gut feeling. But with Nier, he didn't really have much. He just kind of had this like awakening, and then boom, it just like that's it. There's nothing else. But to continue on, everything Nier did was stuff that everyone already figured out for him. The only thing he was going to do in the end, even after finding out about Mikami and the evidence he gained due to Light purposefully, by the way, purposefully letting Mikami be obvious, is he had this plan that was gonna fail because Light figured it out. And the only reason why this plan did not fail was because Mikami messed up. If Mikami just followed what Light said, Nier would have lost completely. It would have been a utter defeat. So, which kind of still brings me to the case of what did Nier even contribute? First, when Nier took up the case, everything was pretty much already figured out for him by L, right? I'm not tripping with that, right? Like, if you step back and looked at the entire case, everything in the case, evidence, notes, stories, like Nier pretty much had that. It's pretty easy for any detective to figure out that Light is Kira. L pretty much already did all the work already, and Nier still almost screwed it up anyway. And then as for everything else that wasn't on the file, Mello is actually the one that figured that stuff out for Nier. He's the one that told Nier about the fake rules, and he's the one that told Nier about the Shinigamis. Keep in mind, Mello didn't have access to the L Kira case files or whatever Nier had, yet he still was almost at the same standpoint in terms of knowledge of the Kira case as Nier was. And finally, in the end, he's the reason Nier was able to quote unquote win. Mello's the one that allowed Mikami to mess up and make Nier's plan that was going to fail work. So really, Mello carried hard in this case after L died. And the reason why I kind of had this topic in my head was because I tend to watch videos after I watch a series about people like opinions on characters and stuff. And all I've been hearing about Nier is that like he's smarter than L. He is like IQ points, in terms of IQ points, he's like the smartest in the series or whatever, like pure talent wise or whatever. And that's all I've been hearing about him. Even through the manga creator, I think the manga creator even said he had the highest IQ. But what did he do with that? Like, let's just say he is like 5 IQ points higher than L. Like, who cares? He didn't do anything. How did he help the case at all? Like, what did he do besides the whole Mikami thing? And I get it. That was a big thing. So I do give him props. Like, yeah, good job. Like, snaps for you, Nier. But it's just that everyone else overshadowed him in terms of contribution. Also, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm pretty sure it was intentional, but in the second half, Light seemed to be kind of worse than the first half. Was that just me? Like, Light was a lot more clumsy. He let his guard down a lot more. Like, I honestly feel like Light was just bored and he just wanted to find some sort of challenge because he got so bored because after L died, he had no one to actually challenge him. But even in the end, Nier still almost lost to a nerf Light. And then Nier in the end tried to say that him and Mello together surpassed L, but no, you guys didn't because Light would have still beaten you. Light would have still beaten you. The nerfed Light would have still beaten you. So yeah, I don't really know what else Nier did. And to top everything off, forget overshadowing him in terms of contribution to the case. For me, Nier was kind of boring. I don't know, that one is just like kind of like a personal thing, but for me, Nier was kind of just boring. Everyone just had way more interesting personalities than him, in my opinion at least. I don't know if anyone else doesn't feel that way. I feel like everyone else just kind of overshadows him in terms of personality. Like Mello, for me, was the most interesting part of the second half. And L is L. L is my favorite character, as he's a lot of people's. So, but I'm just trying to understand what Nier provided, because Nier wasn't even that interesting of a character. I honestly thought it would have been more cool with having Mello as the main antagonist in the second part, because I feel like I could have watched that final part and probably maybe even enjoyed it more if Mello was the main antagonist to Light. But that's just me. It's just because I feel like Mello is a way more act first, get evidence later than L even, and I feel like having that switch up would just be a more interesting part to go through instead of just having another kind of like copycat copycat story with a more boring version of L. Because Nier is like if you took L and got rid of all the things that made L fun, all the things like the action side of L. I feel like the way the way Mello was handled, would have handled the case would kind of have been like a Batman Jason Todd thing where he just, or actually more like Jason Todd, where he just kidnaps Light and then just kills him because he knows he's Kira. Like he doesn't give a crap about evidence. I don't know. I just think it would have been a much more interesting second half if Mikami actually was the character, the main antagonist, instead of Nier, because he's just a lot more interesting. Anyway, yeah, so if you have any thoughts, if someone can actually explain to me what Nier did, or maybe you have other opinions on Nier, I don't know, please leave it down in the comments below. I would love to hear it, because honestly, I love to hear other people's opinions, and remember, I want the comments to be full of healthy discussions, no toxicity. If you do, I will delete it. we do not tolerate toxicity here. Hope you all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. See you.